Now, in my previous video, I spoke about how I racked up about 23.5k in debt, dedicated specifically to coaching programs, business programs, and anything that aimed to give me an entrepreneurial edge in order for me to really achieve the ambitions and dreams that I wanted to achieve. However, it really put me in a dire situation. And so today, I want to talk about my experience around having that debt and how I actually paid it off. Now, this all initially started because I wanted to change my family tree, but really and truly, I had no real strategy in terms of paying off these different loans, credit cards, and all these different things there. I remember when I went to the Tigerant training, they were talking about the uses of an Amex card or the use of different credit cards in order to pay for a deposit for property and all these elaborate and fancy things. And even though they sounded like very sexy tactics, they weren't very sexy for my bank account. Okay. And so the point I'm making here is that I took out this stuff with no real strategy to pay it off. I think the strategy was, I'll make this money and it would sort out itself. And in some instances that worked for other people, but for me, it really did not work. Okay. And so the different types of credit I took out was Halifax loan, Halifax Clarity card, I think it was called, which is a credit card, an Amex card because I was trying to rack up points for holidays and all that kind of stuff there, a Barclay card, and an overdraft. That's a lot of different stuff. So I was in a situation where I had a lot of debt to pay back. It was a huge amount. And I wasn't really sure in terms of what I wanted to do. And I think it got to a point where I just thought to myself, what am I actually using this money for? I know I'm trying to get into this entrepreneurial sort of like journey, but I started using it for like holidays. I started using it for technology. I started, using this stuff for emergencies, etc., etc. And so the initial amount that I took out started to rack up even more. Hence why it didn't just start with a loan. It started with a credit card and all these other things that racked up over time. So I was getting into a situation where I was stressing about it. It was taking over my life. I wasn't really myself. And I know my mother could suspect something. So I remember saying to her one time, look, I'm in this situation. I've got this debt and I'm not sure what to do. And she had consistently said, because she had sussed out, and I denied it, she had sussed out that I was in this situation. She kept on saying, if you're in any debt, consolidate them. If you're in any debt, consolidate them. And I sat down and I listened to her. So as of, I think it was March 2017, I decided to go to Halifax and get some advice. So sat down with some really nice guy. He looked at all of my expenses and basically was able to get me a consolidation loan that really clumped everything together. So all that does is it pays off the cards and other loans and houses it under one loan. And some people may be like, what's the point? Well, I guess it's peace of mind knowing that you're only making payments towards one thing. That's all you're doing. And so I think I was paying something like £550 each month. It was crazy towards paying off this different stuff. And I continued to make roughly the same sort of like payments at like 12.1% interest rate. Okay. So this was the new interest rate. And so he said to me, look, there are certain things you need to do to improve your credit. Obviously your utilization is over 50%. So basically what that means is if you take out £10,000 as a loan, I had more than £5,000 left to pay back in terms of that loan. So my utilization was over 50%. I just needed to make sure that I was earning more as well. I think I was earning about 38 to 40. I think it was 45k at the time. I was 26, 45k at the time. So my income was pretty good for the standard, sort of UK amount. But he said there were certain things I just needed to do. And so basically it was a question of time. So he said, come back in 6 months. So I believe it was roughly November 2017. I went back to him, but I didn't just go back to him straight away. I created a calculator on Excel and I really wanted to make sure that I understood to a T what it was that I was, number one, paying back, and two, how long it'll take me. Because I think he calculated it'll take me up until 2022 for me to pay everything off. I was like, no way. That's not happening. I need to shorten that amount of time. And so I went to him with my laptop, with this calculator that calculated everything exactly how he saw it on his screen as well. And basically we decided to speed things up. Number one, he was able to reduce the interest rate for me from, I think, 12.1% to 4.1%. Look, I don't know if this is fantastic or not, but it was good for me at the time because I was oblivious. Number two, decided to increase the amount and fix that. And number three, that reduced the amount of time it took for me to pay back this stuff. It still wasn't to my fancy. And so even though he made those changes, I made the decision. I made the decision to make sure that I added additional payments towards this loan. So I think I paid an additional £1,000 every single month. But I waited for a bit because your boy's a bit crazy. So I saw an opportunity because money came out of thin air. If I'm going from 12.1% to 4.1% and I'm comfortable making a certain amount of payments already, then it means that I could possibly use that money. So that's what I did. I used that money to, number one, pay for a laptop, which to this day has been amazing. So I don't regret that purchase at all. But two, I also used it for a networking event that wasn't too expensive, but it was crucial to what I was doing at the time. And so fast forward, we get into, I think it was 2018 at the end of it. I made that decision to basically get into a point where I'm going to dedicate £1,000 additional to the 500 and whatever it was every single month to paying off this loan. That's exactly what I was going to do. And the only reason it took me a year from 2017 November to about 2018 December, November times is because, I wanted to make sure that I could increase my money through getting a promotion, which is what I got. Thank the Lord. So that's exactly what happened. So I said I was going to start 2019. So 2019, I was aggressive with payments. And this really affected my livelihood. I didn't really go out as much. I was living below my means. I was doing very basic stuff, still enjoying myself where I could, but really and truly, it was about paying off that loan aggressively. And it taught me that actually, with the right level of aggression and discipline and focus, I can actually get things done. It was a really eye-opening moment for me. It was also a moment for me that year where things weren't really working out for me business-wise. And so I decided to do nothing but what I felt like doing during the time. And if you've seen my values video, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. And so as I was going through this time, I was really focusing on my values and what's important to me. And as I was getting closer and closer to the end of 2019, I was realizing I was getting closer to my goal. I was getting excited. I wasn't there yet, but I was there. I could really see it. And it's because I calculated really well. I calculated and measured my success. And so I ended up paying everything off just after my birthday in 2020. And I was completely gone of that loan. I was like completely free of it. Now, I wasn't completely debt free because I still had a credit card to pay, but it wasn't bothering me. I was making way more money and I was in a position where I had managed my finances much better in terms of the different pots and all that kind of stuff there. I was okay. But really and truly, I just needed to clear that off as well. And I was wrestling with that fact that I still had something there that I needed to pay off, but I was making more money. And it didn't feel authentic, if I'm honest with you, because there was still something to pay off. I hadn't completed the mission. So I had this wad of savings and then I decided to myself, do you know what? Let me just pay this off. It's not really going to affect the end goal for the other stuff I was trying to, get for the year. But in the same instance, it meant that I had a peace of mind. And so in this bit, what I'm going to do is talk about the different sort of lessons and principles I learned from paying off my debt. Very quickly, I would love to know, what different ways do you think it's best to pay off debts? Comment below. The first thing is to be very honest with your situation. There's no point lying. At the end of the day, you have to be sort of black and white with what you can see and what you're experiencing, because once you start dilly-dallying about and wasting time and all that rubbish, you're wasting time. Time is a commodity. We don't get it back. And so just to really be honest about the situation and think about, if I am honest, what does that mean for my future going forward? Because if you're constantly putting plasters over something, eventually the blood is going to seep through the wound. It's going to seep through the plaster. I don't know if that's the best analogy, but that's what I'm thinking of right now. And so you just need to be honest with yourself. The second thing is, don't be afraid to tell loved ones. They're there to support you. Yeah, let's be real. Sometimes they're annoying. They may say certain things that may give you headache, but it's for the right intentions. It's because they love you. And, you would like to think at least they're going to say things eventually that is going to support your growth and the solution towards paying this stuff off. So find trusted, objective individuals that you can confide in. And slowly, if you need to tell someone else, then tell them as well. Okay. It's really important that you understand this. The third thing is to, once you've told your significant, friends, family members, whoever it may be, then research your options. Okay. Research your options. Try to understand what is available out there. Maybe a consolidation loan isn't the best thing for you. Maybe it's just a strategy in terms of your behavioral habits. Just research what is available to you in order for you to understand what the potential future could look like. Okay. And maybe you want to create some sort of scenarios. Maybe you want to calculate what that looks like. The fourth thing is to seek professional help. There are a multitude of different people who can help you these days, such as financial advisors. You may find them on Instagram. You may find them on trusted websites. There are also advisors in your bank. Okay. Don't be afraid to actually go to your bank. It's free of charge and they can help you, sort out your debts and your situation. So seek professional help. Fundamental. The fifth thing is to act on a plan based on this help. Okay, so really take note of what they're saying. Write down step 1, step 2, step 3. It may not even be a long list. Could be a list of like 3 items that you need to do, but really be clear of that plan. Now, the best way that I plan is mathematically. Okay, like I said, I created a spreadsheet and you can actually access it down below if you check out the link below. I'm charging a very small fee for it, but again, it does what it says on the tin in terms of calculating the rate. And so maybe that helps you with your plan. Maybe that gives you an idea of how long it will take you to pay off, X amount of loan or credit card or whatever it may be. So follow a simple step plan. The sixth thing is get started and don't waver from the course. Like stick to the course, follow one course until successful. As I say, commit to the course because that feeling that you're chasing of amazingness, greatness and relief after you've paid off the loan is a fantastic feeling. Trust me, because when I paid off my loan, I'm telling you, I celebrated because it was such a big part of my life. And I didn't realize how much it was affecting me in many different areas. I feel like it unlocks different levels. And once that happens, you start getting your blessings. So pay off your debt. I'm telling you, stick the course and don't get wavered. The seventh thing is to remember that you're not in a prison. It may feel like you're in a prison. It may feel like, oh my gosh, my friends are doing this. My family's doing that. All these opportunities are coming. But at the end of the day, you need to stay the course, because if you start thinking that you're in some sort of prison, you may find ways to distract yourself. So this is all beneficial for your future. This is all beneficial for the person that you are becoming. This is beneficial for your partner. This is beneficial for your siblings, for your parents, for your friends. Just so you can improve your sense of well-being and go about your business in terms of what you're aiming to achieve. The eighth thing is to remember to live below your means. I'm telling you, this doesn't work if you're going on holidays all the time, or you're buying expensive gifts, or you're going on loads of different, activities or whatever it may be. That doesn't work. When I checked my sort of money dashboard charts, I realized that the crisis point for me was usually when I went on holidays. Frustrating, okay? And that's when things became difficult. Or there was a specific month, such as, the autumn seasons where money was tight. So I had to be cognizant of those different facts. Understand the themes, understand your patterns, understand those different behaviors, and act according to making sure that you do not waver from the goal. The ninth thing is to say, focus on debt repayments and forget about any form of savings. I'm telling you, forget savings. Don't try to save for something. That's just my mentality. That may be the wrong advice. And again, seek financial advice in order to get the best sort of possible options. But for me, I thought actually me trying to save is just slowing down the rate in terms of me paying this off. I need to be aggressive. And the way I did it was I still had an overdraft. I still had the money coming into my current account. So that was my emergency fund, so to speak. That's what happens. You hustle. I mean, some of you have been in situations where you're in minus. I know I've seen that before. Okay. It's not easy out here. But once you do it, once you know that you can have plus, your bank account looks sexy. I'm telling you, it's a different story. And so just stick the course and don't think, I need to save because all these financial advisors on, Instagram say you need to know your situation. So go by your situation, not by blah, 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 blah. Okay. Pay off the debt, focus on saving later. And the 10th thing, okay, which is common sense, is to not be tempted to move away from the plan. Don't try and get shiny eye syndrome and move away from it, because the moment you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to regret it. Finances is boring. Just get that it's boring. You got yourself into this position because you were part of that microwave generation. Now you need to get yourself out of it. So just stick the course, follow one course until successful. And hopefully this has been enough to give you some motivation, insight, and some strategies in terms of how you can pay off your loans as well. If you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, my friends, understand, reach, and expand. Peace.